I have practiced this work now in 4 different cities, starting from scratch, where no one had ever heard of the work. And I come in and just start talking about Bowenwork until pretty soon people just feel like they have to try it. And in every single city, the word spreads by the effects. So now let me ask Ken, how did that feel yet? Is it having sensations or settling down?
Very calm.
Okay, great. Now I'm going to leave it that minimal just so that we can get a chance to see how simple it is. I'll let you just sit there and relax as long as you wish until you feel like it's all kind of settled down and done. Does it feel like it's kind of done for the moment?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and stand. And I'm going to just have you, just for comparison's sake, take your left arm up again like you did. And then your right. And just see if it feels any different. Does it feel more relaxed?
Yeah.
That's
No pain.
great. Oh, no pain?
No pain at all.
I just love it. Thank you, Ken.
Doesn't have to be rocket science, it can be something simple.
That's right. I like
Thank you
it.
very much, appreciate it.
You're so welcome. Oh, I'm glad you wanted to explore it. One of the biggest responses people have to Bowenwork is they'll start sleeping. Deep, rejuvenating sleeps. It is one of the most common reports we will hear after a session like that, where they're just in so much pain, and then they feel like the sun comes out. The next thing you usually hear is, I don't know what you did to me, but it's like the next 3 days, all I did was sleep. Have you heard that report a lot after Bowenwork? I slept 12 hours. I haven't done that since I was a kid. Or I slept for, I was barely awake long enough to feed myself. And it's the body's wisdom reinstating that the most important thing at this moment is to reinstate the reserves of the healing response in the body before it can heal that problem knee or that problem tissue in the low back. It's like we need to get the healing reserves back with just some rejuvenating sleep. Now, I will just finish by telling you a couple of my most wow stories that you can barely believe, just so you know the kinds of things this can do. A person from El Paso, Texas, drove over to Arizona with his 60-something-year-old mother. She had been in a car accident as the passenger, had the seatbelt across this side of her. Not a terrible car accident, but bad enough that she was thrown forward and the seatbelt grabbed her. She thought she was fine. Within a day, she started getting hoarse, losing her voice. It was just getting raspy. Within another day, she started losing the use of her right arm. It was becoming paralyzed. She went to the doctor. The doctor told her to go for some physical therapy. She went for some physical therapy, and it became completely paralyzed. And she lost all ability to swallow or speak. I saw her a year and a half later. She had a feeding tube. She had gone through lots of physical therapy and given up. She was devastated, terribly depressed. When I saw her, the entire family came over with her, 10 people practically piled out of the car. Everybody's so wanting to help Ramona. And they came for 2 sessions, 1 week apart, which is what we need to set in the foundation of the work. We did what any of our practitioners would know to do, basic resetting of the injured tissue with some gentle moves around her back, shoulder, and this area, which had to do with swallowing, the TMJ. After 2 sessions, she was in her kitchen the next week and suddenly realized that she was sweeping with both arms. Hadn't even thought about it. It was completely natural to be sweeping with both arms. And all of a sudden she called to her children, I'm sweeping, I'm sweeping. And she started every day doing more and more with that arm. Pretty soon she could comb her hair, she could button her shirt. I didn't see her again for 4 months. When she came back in 4 months, she had full use of her arm. Little by little, her swallowing was coming back. She still had the feeding tube in, but she was starting to take pieces of, she said she could do tortilla better than anything else. Little tortilla could keep going down. And one day, she was at a party, and her daughter picked up something from the ground and said, "Mama, I think you dropped this," and it was her feeding tube. It had come out of her body. It had been pushed out from underneath with healed skin that had pushed it out. And she said, "This is a sign." She went back to the doctor who wanted to put it back in. She said, "No, I am going to commit to food," and from that point on, she became completely able to eat again. There's so many stories, but the commonplace ones are with the plantar fasciitis that clears up in 2 sessions. I have, the one I wanted to share with you was, I was at the bottom of the Grand Canyon in the Havasupai Reservation with 14 women over 50. We had all gone on a hike together. I only knew 2 other women. Here we hiked down, got to the bottom, and one of the women, who was a medical doctor from Ashland, Oregon, was in such high-level pain in her foot because of a neuroma that she could not walk. And she thought, this trip is ruined for me. I will not be able to enjoy any of our hike for the next week. And so, of course, I have to pipe up and say, well, I might have something that could help. So right there and then, lay her down in the sleeping bag at the bottom of the canyon and did the moves that I knew might be able to help. And she woke up the next morning pain-free. Now, I didn't even know that she had had a history of this neuroma going back a year or more, and as an MD, had done everything possible in the medical world to help it. She never had that again. A year later, she sponsored me to come to Ashland to teach a class because that had been so dramatic. A neuroma usually doesn't just go away overnight, but hers did, and it never came back. So this is what the body's capable of. I mean, what I really want to share with you that I have learned is that we have just begun to understand the healing process. If these things are possible, then we have to change our thinking. We are capable of so much more healing than we thought. And this is true of my clients who are 90. I have clients who are 90 who have tremendous responses, including with incontinence. That can change a life. So, you know, when we start to get more and more understanding of how much the body can heal and how much rejuvenation ability we have inside of us, we are going to be able to all flourish and feel like the light's gone on and the sun's come out, and we can help each other. Without a lot of technology and without a lot of training, we can help each other. So I invite any of you who are interested in learning more about this work to speak to any of the practitioners, to look it up at www.bowenwork.com. You will be able to access the world through that website and find out what's happening in all these countries. So thank you so much for coming to hear about this work. As you can tell, there are a number of us in here who are passionate about it and love an opportunity to share it. I hope we will be able to share more with you in the future. Thank you.